Hello everyone, I am Jasu Bakuhatsu, and this is the Bakulog. This is a new series in which I will be playing through a game from my extensive library of games that I own on PC and have not yet played at all. This is going to be a blind playthrough of a game from my backlog, or Bakulog, if you will. So yeah, as you can see, we're kicking off the series here with Terrian Saga KR-17. This is a game developed by an indie studio called Wonderfling, which has not made any other games that I'm aware of, sort of note at all. So this will be kind of interesting. I got this game on sale a while back. I often like to check out just random Steam sales occasionally, just to see if I can get any good-looking games for like a dollar or two. And that happened one day. I got this game for $1 or $2, and I thought it looked pretty decent. It has some kind of good-looking 16-bit style sprite artwork. A lot of the indie retro-styled games these days go for the kind of more simplistic 8-bit style, which is got its own little charm. But honestly, in my opinion, like all the best 2D-looking games were from like the 16-bit era. That's like yeah, 8-bit has its charm, but like 16-bit is strictly better, and I wish that more publishers or more indie devs would, strive for that kind of quality in their graphics in their old, their 2D retro-styled games. And with that said, this game, on the Steam page at least, the store page that showed all the screenshots, had some decent-looking 16-bit style sprites, but yeah, not really being shown off so much in this intro here. This is, honestly, I think these big chunky sprites in the intro look kind of a little bit rubbish, to be honest. If this is all that they had shown me on the store page, is screenshots from the intro here, I would not have probably picked this, or the character portraits either, for that matter. Oh wow, that is dreadful. But as you can see though, the actual gameplay sprites, like the actual character sprites on the actual playing field, look pretty decent. It's not like the greatest looking kind of 16-bit style game in the world, but it's all right. I would this would pass for like an actual game, like published back in like say maybe the mid to late probably the mid to like semi-late 90s or so, just because. But yeah, as you can see, there's a fair bit of detail in the sprites, but not like a huge amount. Like a lot of the oh Jesus, wow, that was quite the stacking sound effect there. So yeah, a little bit of to talk about the game itself. Actually, as you can see, this is kind of a 2D kind of run and gun shoot 'em up type game. Only you can only shoot right in front of you. I don't know if that's gonna change at all. I actually had I did a little bit of a test play just to get my recording shit in order, and it took me a while to figure out the use key there. So yeah, to actually describe the controls, the down button is the use key, as it turns out, or I say key, but I am actually playing this on a PS3 controller here. So yeah, down is your use button. You can jump. There's a jump button. There's a shoot button, and you also have various little sub-weapons at your disposal as well. So, man, I keep accidentally dashing. I hope this doesn't become a consistent problem here. But, yeah, it's... Oh, frick! Oh, my goodness. That was totally unexpected. Okay, so as you can see, I am playing on hard mode here, just because I find that games in this style tend to be kind of a bit too easy for my liking. This is the style of game that I tend to play a lot of, so I tend to be, like, kind of decent at these. And arguably, I guess, and even if you think I suck at them, I just kind of prefer the challenge. So we're going to be playing things on hard mode here. Jesus Christ, that sound effect. It's like... Oh, that's just a little pet peeve of mine I have in video games. It's like, fix your sound design. Damn it, your game should not be stacking and like getting all scratchy in my ear when it stacks its explosion sound effects like that. Although, to be fair, like, even really good games have that problem sometimes, so I won't hold it against it too much. But anyways, yeah, we have various sub-weapons. We have the grenade, which you saw back there. We've got this, this cool little missile here that you can, kind of like what was the name of the missile in Metal Gear Solid? Like the Nikita, I think it was, in Metal Gear Solid, where it's just like a little missile you can just fly around all over the place. I guess you could actually use this as a kind of a scouting tool to kind of have a look around the level if you wanted to, but alright, I gotta use this over here. So yeah, I do know, like, the style of game that this is. This is, whoa. It looks like I triggered an alert there. I don't know why I suddenly have Metal Gear Solid on the brain just after the Nikita and the little alert sound effect there. But anyways, yeah, so I'm not really sure exactly what style of game this is. Whether this is going to be like a Metroidvania style thing, where I'm just going to be, you know, collecting various power-ups throughout the place and navigating through a persistent world. It seems to be kind of stage-based so far. And I will say that, like, it gives you a decent selection of different weapons right off the bat as well. Oh, that's kind of neat. This is kind of unique, actually. It's like kind of a different take on the bouncy pad. You gotta actually press the jump button. That's weird. That I don't think I've ever seen something like that in a game before, where you've, like, it's like a bouncy pad where you actually have to, like, worry about your timing to activate it. That's actually pretty cool. I kind of like that. So yeah, you've got this missile thing, you've got your grenade thing. I could have sworn that there was another weapon. Oops, okay, apparently grenades can hurt you. Who would have thought? Oh, right, and okay, I just equipped a jetpack, which... Oh, wow, is that instant death, or did I run out of health there? So yeah, this could be a Metroid... I guess this looks to be some kind of Metroidvania thing, since I am collecting power-ups. But then again, it could still... Oh, that is not... Okay. I was expecting a platform there, but no, that is not a platform. That is background. That always... Like, I don't know. When you see them, like, right next to each other, it's kind of obvious. But like, when you see it just alone by itself, it's like... That's another pet peeve of mine in 2D platformers. It's like, you've gotta make your foreground elements pop, guys. Like, seriously. That's like the most irritating thing I find when I can't distinguish between foreground and background elements in 2D platformers. Okay, so we're gonna actually carefully maneuver ourselves down this time. So, but yeah, anyways, we got a jetpack too, and they introduced that pretty quickly. I wonder if... So I don't know if this is going to be like a Metroidvania-style thing, where we just go about collecting different upgrades, and that'll sort of help us trek through the world and access different places, or if it's going to be, you know, kind of more arcade-style. And yeah, speaking of arcade-style, I don't know, I don't see a life counter anywhere, so it seems that this is just like kind of your standard... Oh wait, no, it's this button. Oh my... Oh, I grenaded myself there, so that's what happened with that. But yeah, to be honest, I'm kind of a bit more of a fan of the arcade-style 2D platformers, where, you know, it's like you gotta get through the game in one credit, or you can challenge yourself, at least, to get through the game in a limited number of lives, whereas this game seems to be kind of more in the kind of Meat Boy-esque, you know, micro-challenge type paradigm of 2D platformer, where it's like you've got your checkpoints, you got frequent checkpoints, and infinite lives, which is not really a thing that to be honest, not really a thing that I like. Speaking of things I don't like, that is a dreadful background sprite. I got a lot of the sprites here look like they're kind of oversized, like they were like blown up to like double their intended resolution. Oh, speaking of which, I was like really surprised and disappointed when with the options menu in this game. As far as I can tell, there's no resolution or window resize options whatsoever. I tried to, because yeah, like I said, the sprites look a bit chunky to my taste. Like the whole game looks like it was intended to be like played at maybe half the resolution or so, and yeah, just because of the way the sprites all look blown up like that. And that's the way I usually like to play these games. It's like almost always, I'm willing to trade off like a smaller window for kind of nicer, cleaner looking sprites without those giant blocky pixels. But that was not an option at all in this game. You can't even... No resolution options whatsoever. You're just kind of stuck with your giant window and your big chunky sprites, which is, yeah, a bit of a shame. Honestly, not much reason for it either. Like, I can't imagine how it's... In fact, yeah, I cannot think of any, like, 2D platformer, even indie ones, that have not included some form of resolution or window resizing options. Kind of strange. But anyways, I was talking about the whole arcade style. I'm not really a big fan of the whole, like, you know, frequent checkpoint, infinite lives style of game. I really prefer the arcade style, where it's like you have to where you've got kind of a shorter length game, but you play through it multiple times to try to actually get that 1cc. It kind of adds a bit more, opportunity for mastery, and it's just that games in that style tend to be kind of tend to have a little bit more depth to them, a little bit more potential for mastery, and a lot more difficulty as well, which is another, like I mentioned earlier, another thing I really like in these kinds of games. But yeah, it doesn't really seem like we're getting it just yet. And can I kill this guy? Okay. Also, not terribly impressed with a lot of the animation in this game either. It's decent. Like it's a decent looking game. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm totally willing to forgive these kinds of little things. Honestly, it's just like little. I just feel the need to comment. Like coming off of, like you guys know, I play a lot of this style of game on the channel, and I play a lot of the classic stuff, like your Ristars, your Sonics, those kinds of like absolute classics, classic 2D style games that just and yeah, it's hard for me not to compare even like these little indie productions to the absolute classics of yesteryear. Like you could argue that it's not exactly fair to do it that way, but I don't know though. It's like gaming, like development tools have come a long way since then, and it's like I don't know. It's just I feel the need to point this out just because I think that indie devs kind of need. I think they should try to kind of set their sights a little bit higher, I think, in a lot of different ways. I find that a lot of these little indie titles tend to be kind of lacking in ambition, to put it lightly. They're just like simple little things that are, frankly, like kind of dumbed down versions of like the old, the absolute classics that you remember from the good old 16-bit days. And it's like those classics still exist. Why would I want something that's, dumbed down and less challenging and doesn't offer that opportunity for offer that replay value and that opportunity to master the game and all that, and offers less replayability. I'm just kind of I don't mean this as to shit on this game just yet. We're still early on. There's plenty of time for things to get good here. I'm just kind of commenting about sort of my take on indie games in general. And yeah, I've kind of shat on, and yeah, I'm oh goodness, no, not La Mulana. La Mulana is the exception to all this shit I've been saying. Man, talk about ambition in a little 2D indie game. But oh yeah, the one I'm thinking of is Cave Story is the one that it really bothers me that so many people like that game so much. That's like I can maybe go into that. I don't know if I do a playthrough of Cave Story just to shit on the game, really, but that's a good example of a game that just it feels like just kind of a dumbed down version of like a Super Metroid crossed with something like Metal Slug, basically, with some light RPG elements. And it's like kind of linear, kind of super easy, and it's like, I don't know, didn't really do it for me. Yeah, it's tough, and like I was saying, it's not a bad little game. It's super impressive that it's all done by one guy, and that's the way it is with a lot of these indie studios. I feel kind of bad for being hard on them, trying to compare them, because even though, like I said, development tools and stuff have come a long way since those old days, it's still back in the day, these were yeah, those old 16-bit titles I was talking about were the AAA games of yesteryear. Those games had teams of anywhere from 10 to 30 people working on them, whereas a lot of these indie titles, you don't have that kind of manpower. So I can definitely forgive them, and really, gameplay is king, really. You don't need a 50-man development team to make a really solid 2D game with good mechanics and good action and all, well laid out world map and all, or well laid out levels, or a world map, depending on whether it's kind of more arcadey style or Super or Metroidvania. Okay. Is this actually what I'm supposed to be doing here? Oh well, we'll try that again. I don't know if I actually have ammo for these Why am I going for the gears? That's stupid. I don't even know if... Oh my goodness. Oh, I see. I've got a sub-weapon... I've got an ammo, so I think I'm out now. So that yellow bar below the little red ones appears to be my... So then how do I get my ammo back? Oh, this must be an ammo thing. Okay, there we go. I'm figuring this game out. Though I've got to say, I've been talking about like 16-bit games and all that stuff, and honestly, just kind of the look and feel of this game honestly reminds me more of like a lot of old school like 2D shooters more than anything. Like stuff like what was it? Oh, I can't remember. There was like this, like the original Duke Nukem, like the 2D ones, and there was a similar game. I can't remember. I think it was like Bio Menace. I think it was called. It starred like this really 80s looking action hero dude who had like a mullet and like a big thick black mustache. I think it was called like Bio Menace or something like that. Halloween Harry is another example, and yeah, that's another style of game. Like I kind of got it in my head. Like okay. Just based on the graphic style, like, okay, 16-bit style, shoot 'em up, old console games, that kind of thing. But really, now that I think of it, just kind of the look and feel of this game really reminds me more of those old... Now that I'm actually playing the game and not just looking at screenshots on the Steam page, this looks a lot more like... looks and feels a lot more like those old kind of PC 2D shooters, like the ones that I listed. In which case, yeah, compared to those, I guess actually this game compares quite favorably. I think like a lot of those old PC games don't hold up quite so well, in my opinion. A lot of them just kind of feel janky and off. They don't feel like those old PC games just a bit janky, like the frame rate and the way that everything moves and animates and the physics. It just feels a bit not as smooth. They don't flow quite as well as the old console classics. Like, your Marios, your Sonics, your Contras, those kinds of games. So I guess compared to, like, the old PC games that I listed, this actually compares quite favorably, I think. I'm kind of curious to check out... So I've got to say, it's like... So far I've been... this game looks like it has potential. I'm not actually... Oh, right, I totally forgot that I had the... I completely forgot about the jetpack. Although I don't... So yeah, this thing... Oh, okay. We're starting to see more open levels now, which is another thing that I really like, and another thing that, yeah, again, really reminiscent of those old 2D PC shooters. Oh, I wonder are there like collectathon aspects to this? Am I like missing out on something by not going back and collecting all the gears and shit? Okay, do not. And is this a thing? No. Okay, I saw exit there, but there's no exit. Oh well. Oh yeah, I guess there's that 5 out of 9 button thing there. I guess we're trying to find some buttons. Another thing, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, now that I think about this more, now that I'm actually paying attention to what I'm doing and not just like rambling on about 16-bit console games because of my sort of preconceived notions about this game based on the Steam store page screenshots. Yeah, this, like, everything about this screams like... Oh wow, was I that low? Oh, it actually saves your health here, too. Wow, that's... So how do I gain more health? Wow, hard might have actually been aptly named here. Which is good in my opinion. Like, if you're gonna have, like, an infinite checkpoint-style game, like, yeah, frequent checkpoints, infinite lives, and that style of... I did not even see what hit me there. Like, I saw the projectile, but that was, like, a bit of ways from me, wasn't it? I don't know. But, yeah, anyways, if you're going to do this, like, infinite life, infinite checkpoint, or frequent checkpoint type thing, something's... Oh, you're raining shit on... I just got shat on by a bird back there through the treetops, and I couldn't even see it. That's some shitty design right there. It's like, really? You put a bird, like, right above the frickin', like, tree leaves, and so that their projectile falls through this, like, foreground element that blocks everything? Oh my goodness, that's dreadful. What were you thinking? What's your name's Wonderflag, or whatever... Okay, I might have done it there. It was kind of hard to tell. At some point, I'm gonna, if I keep saying that name, I'm gonna screw up and say like Wonder Flag minus the L. So I apologize in advance if that ends up happening. Oh, and I guess I can go back and save as well. So yeah, that'll be a thing I guess I can do to save some of my progress. But anyways, apologies in advance for when I inevitably make that mistake. I guess I could just try to avoid saying the name of the developer altogether for that reason, but... I mean, they deserve some credit. I've been using nothing but the rocket pack. Okay, so yeah, this thing that I thought was a dead end, I can just, jet right up here and... Hey, look, there's another button. 8 of 9. And yeah, anyways, yeah, I got sidetracked. Yeah, this whole, like, kind of, you know, collecting key cards to open doors and the big open levels and throwing switches all over the place to unlock the exit. Oh yeah, everything about this, like, just screams to me. Games like, yeah, Biomenace and the original Duke Nukem and Halloween Harry and those kinds of games. So, okay, now that I kind of have a better understanding of, sort of realize what this game's probable influences are and sort of what this game is all about and what to actually compare this to, I'm actually rather impressed. I'm actually getting a big, because yeah, those are all like games that I tend to kind of, oh, nice. I'm not really going for 100% so much as, what? Oh, that was water there. Oh, you guys really need to make your water stand out there a bit more. I did not even notice that. And yeah, there's like blocks underneath that too, so it's like, yeah, it's like just that thin little water bit, like just like replace these blocks, like make the thin bit the floor and actually make the water expand, like go down a little bit more. It's like you can see the water takes up like half a tile. Make things a bit more visible, you know, it's just, I don't know. So far I'm actually really impressed so far with like the way this game controls and the level design and kind of the different array of weapons you have. That's pretty cool. Like all that stuff is really cool, I think. I think this, like I said, we're kind of still in the early stages of the game. So it's, you know, I'd kind of like it if they, you know, kind of brought the difficulty up a bit more, but it's still early. I will say though, this game has a lot of potential.